Well, it's that time of the year again. It's time for my top 10 movies of 2022. This year was a great return to form for the movie theaters. We still didn't have the full comeback year since COVID-19. I would expect 2023 to be the big year where major blockbusters return, but we had a few big hits this year and a lot of great cinema. So I went ahead and I compiled my top 10 movies of the year list right here, but before I get into that, I have a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. I got Banshees of Inisherin, RRR, Bullet Train, Tar, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Not to be confused with Disney's Pinocchio. That was dog trash. Now, I don't want to waste any time, and it looks like the battery on my camera is going to go out, so let's go ahead and get started with number 10. Number 10 is going to be All Quiet on the Western Front, a remake of the classic film that was an adaptation of the novel. This movie is one of those films that's a really hard watch, but it is very important. It shows you the horrors of war, and it's some of the best direction that I've seen all year. If there's any justice, the director of this film is going to receive an Academy Award nomination. All the performances are off the charts. It's on Netflix, so I highly recommend that if you watch it, you prepare yourself beforehand, but nonetheless, that you do just watch it in general. This is a really important one. Number 9 might be controversial for some of you, and it is going to be Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope. I really enjoyed this movie whenever I got out of it, and my feelings on it have stayed about the same. Now, a lot of people went into this expecting one thing and got another. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect from this movie. It's definitely not up to par with Jordan Peele's Get Out, but it gave me the slow burn alien movie that I've been craving for a long time, and it delivered a career best performance from Keke Palmer and another great performance from Daniel Kaluuya. Number 8 is going to be The Northman, the latest film from director Robert Eggers, and it's sort of like Hamlet meets Vikings. I thought that this was one of the most unique films of the year, and there's truly nothing else like it right now. It came out in April. Really didn't make too much money, so if you're at all interested in this movie, please go ahead and rent it or watch it if it's on streaming right now. I can't recommend it enough. It's a really, really cool, hardcore Viking film, unlike anything that I've really seen before. Number 7 is Prey, and I loved this movie whenever it was released straight to Hulu in August this year. Probably the most fun I've had in an action film that also kept me on the edge of my seat. I wish I could have seen this in an actual theater, because some of the cinematography here is truly just masterful work, and the lead performance here, I forget the lead actress's name, but it was fantastic. One of my favorite performances of the year from an action movie standpoint. And also, I hadn't seen any Predator movies up to this point, and it got me into this sort of universe in a really different, unique way. Love Prey. Number 6 is the latest film from the greatest director of all time, Steven Spielberg, and that is The Fabelmans. I saw this movie last month and fell in love with it. It is the true journey of Steven Spielberg as a kid growing up, falling in love with cinema, but it also chronicles his life with his family, and more specifically his parents and their kind of tumultuous relationship. Paul Dano is a great supporting actor here, as well as Michelle Williams, and I would label her a supporting actress, but she's being pushed for lead right now. Gabriel LaBelle is a young actor who I would expect to see a lot more from in the future. He delivers a really great, memorable performance here, and this was everything that I wanted this movie to be and more. Number 5 is Avatar: The Way of Water. A visual effects masterpiece. James Cameron proves why he's one of the best in the game. He's still batting 100 in my book. He waited 13 years to make this movie, or I shouldn't say waited. He's been wanting to make this movie for 13 years. Apparently, they spent 2 years in actual production for this film, but he needed technology to kind of catch up with his vision for what this movie could be. It was everything that I wanted it to be and more. I've seen it twice now. If you haven't seen this yet, see it on the biggest screen that you possibly can. There's nothing else like it right now. It has a great environmental message out there, solid performances in it. James Cameron, he gets another hit here with Avatar: The Way of Water. Number 4 is far and away the best comic book movie of the year, and that is The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson as the Caped Crusader. This movie is off the charts good. I feel like this was a really down year for comic book movies just in general, and this movie came in early in the year and just showed what you could do with this genre. I was really interested in this because of Matt Reeves, the director, who directed the last two Planet of the Apes movies. I feel like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is one of the best underrated, I feel like, action films of the last decade, and he came into the Batman genre and showed something different than what we've seen before, and that's really saying something because we've seen a lot of Batman over the last 20-30 years. Fingers crossed that they give us a Court of Owls movie soon. Number 3 is gonna be Glass Onion. I loved this movie. I wish Netflix could have kept it in theaters for longer than a weekend so more people could have seen it on the big screen, because this was so much fun. A great follow-up to Knives Out. I was really nervous on if they could deliver to the quality of Knives Out, the first one, but they did that and then some. They made a really different feeling murder mystery than the first film. Daniel Craig is once again excellent as Benoit Blanc, and the supporting roles are perfectly casted here, specifically Janelle Monáe, Edward Norton, Kate Hudson. If you haven't seen it, it's streaming on Netflix. I can't recommend it enough. 1 and 2 were really hard for me. They're very different movies, but I just had to stay true to myself. It's okay if you don't agree with this take. It's all good, but my number 2 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is sort of the little indie movie that could throughout the year, because it came out in April. It could have very well been swept under the rug, you know, like, oh, that was a cool movie that came out early on in the year, but it's not going to get any real awards attention, but it is proving everyone wrong. This movie sustained its hype throughout the year. Everyone is still talking about it. They're still talking about Michelle Yeoh, the comeback story for Ke Huy Quan. For those moviegoers that didn't know who the Daniels directors were, they know now. These guys are probably, in my opinion, the front runner for Best Director. This movie feels like it has a path to Best Picture right now, and I'm all here for it. I feel like there's a theme of very different, unique movies on this list, and I feel like there's no better way to describe Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is truly unlike anything you're gonna see. It is insanity to the 10x level. So much fun, really powerful message, excellent performances, incredible visuals unlike anything else on the screen this year. Really, really great movie. For a long time, it was my number 1. But I cannot deny the fact that Top Gun Maverick had me feeling different walking out of the movie theater. I'm gonna be honest, whenever I saw the first trailer for this, I didn't think this movie was gonna be good. I don't know why exactly, but I was like, okay, come on, you know, they're making a sequel 30 plus years after the original. Is this really gonna be good? But man, the cinematography alone in this is worthy of being in a top 10 list. They could have spoken no words and we could have gotten just cool stunts from Tom Cruise and the entire team here, cool maneuvers in the planes, and I would have loved it, but it gave us that and a whole lot more. It gives us a movie where Maverick is in the sort of mentor role, but he is not by any means lost a step. He is still the best pilot out there. And I feel like just in general, this is the top movie of the year for a general audience or a movie theater. This brought so many demographics back into the movie theater that hadn't been back since the pandemic started. Yeah, No Way Home was a big hit. Venom, Let There Be Carnage made a lot of money. Uncharted made $400 million, whatever. But this movie brought back people from all walks of life because they were just told, you have to go see this on the biggest screen possible. So a huge credit goes out to Tom Cruise for not letting the studio push this onto, I think it was Paramount. Because in case you didn't know, during the pandemic, they were saying, oh, maybe we just put it onto Paramount, and Tom Cruise basically said, over my dead body. Thank goodness he did that, because I can imagine watching this for the first time at home. This is definitely a movie that deserves to be seen on the big screen. It made $1.7 billion, and it deserved it. You can disagree all you want. That's what I love about movies, the fact that we can all walk out of a movie theater thinking different things about the same thing we just watched. But Top Gun Maverick delivered an experience to me that 1, I wasn't expecting, and 2, brought me back multiple times to the movie theater, and 3, gave me something to share with all of my friends and family, because basically everyone went and saw this. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this point. If you liked this, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.